Great news for the city of Douglas. The Pope just gave us a cathedral, namely this one here behind me. Let me explain. Now, the Pope didn't give us the physical building, of course. St. Mary's of the Isle, the church, was where the building work started in 1857. I believe it was opened as a church in 1859, so it's been here a while. But what he just did is bestow cathedral status onto it, or co-cathedral status to be precise. And I'll try and explain how that came along. So, as all of you remember, or most of you, back in June of last year, the late Queen Elizabeth II gave Douglas city status as part of the Jubilee celebrations. And following this, some officers from Douglas Borough Council approached the Monsignor John Devine, who looks after this beautiful building and, well, the Catholic Church or the Catholic community in the Isle of Man, to inquire if it would be possible if Douglas could have a cathedral. Now, most people think that you need to have a cathedral to be a city. That's not actually true. You can be a city without being a cathedral. See Douglas, until now we didn't have one. But it's sort of I guess most people would say it's a nice to have. It's something that goes well together. It's, it complements each other. So they inquired if it would be possible that Douglas maybe could have a cathedral. There was one problem immediately obvious, and that was that technically the Isle of Man, or not technically, factually, the Isle of Man Catholic community belongs to the Archdiocese of Liverpool. And that means we technically already have a cathedral, and that's the cathedral in Liverpool. So we couldn't really have a second cathedral on the face of it. But further research by him showed, and I'm going to link to his video below because he explains it in a lot more detail. So further research by him showed that there is a concept called a co-cathedral. And that happens either when two dioceses, terrible at that word, are put together, but they both want to keep their cathedrals, or if a diocese is split into multiple regions, as is the case here. So we are part of Liverpool, where the Catholic Church is concerned. But of course, we're not in Liverpool. We're on a separate little island. So that kind of fell into that category of, okay, they're two different places. They're the same community. So that is where a co-cathedral would be possible. So he then did a lot of research, and he contacted the relevant parties in the Vatican to basically say, could you ask the Pope if, that's okay if we have a cathedral here? Would you mind? And to his surprise, they emailed back asking for more information, and he had to supply them everything from photos of the building to plans to indeed where the chair of the bishop would be, because cathedral comes from the name cathedra, or the word cathedra, and that means the chair of the bishop. So cathedral is where the bishop sits. So he ticked all the boxes, did all the research, sent it all to the Vatican, and to his surprise, very recently, a few days ago I believe, he got word back that the Pope is indeed okay with it and has given his thumbs up to this now being St. Mary's of the Isle co-cathedral or Cathedral Church. So it is the first co-cathedral in the British Isles. Now I think there are over 300 in the world, but this is the first one in the British Isles. It's now a cathedral, and that means Douglas now has a cathedral. And it's really been an eventful year for the city, to be honest, because last year we became a city, and now we get our own cathedral. So it's onwards and upwards for this place, which is nice. It puts, I know not everyone's religious, and I'm actually not overly religious. I would say I'm agnostic, but it puts sort of a bit of vitality in a bus and something in the community, and it's a feel-good thing. It's a feel-good story, and it's good. It puts us on the map, and it just lifts spirits. So it's a good thing. And the timing is also fantastic, because tomorrow is a Civic Sunday, which is one of the biggest events on the council calendar, where all of us will go from, together with dignitaries and charities and others, we will have a procession from Town Hall up to this church to have our first Civic Sunday service in the new cathedral, which, is on the social calendar, certainly on the council calendar, a big deal. So yeah, it's really onwards and upwards for Douglas by the look of things, and now we have our own cathedral. And again, I'm going to link to Monsignor's video below, because he explains it in much more detail, and it's worth watching if you're interested in that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to do, a quick video on Douglas now having its own cathedral. Please like and subscribe for more Isle of Man and TT content, and I'll see you next time. Take care.